All right, ladies and gentlemen, so Benavidez and Morrell just happened last night, and holy crap, what a fight. That fight delivered just like how we thought it was, but maybe even well, maybe not over delivered. I would like to see more knockdowns, but that was a great fight. David Benavidez came away with the win with decision, unanimous decision on points. David Morrell did drop him in the 11th round. But all in all, it was a great fight. I mean, exactly from the bell, from round one, they were going at it. They were fighting. They were swinging. It was a really good fight. I was so glad. I'd like to see a rematch, but I think the winner, which is David Benavidez, I think he's going to fight Beterbiev. The winner of Beterbiev and Bivol too, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, Benavidez is a great fighter, but Bivol and Beterbiev, I think, would absolutely dog walk Benavidez. Like, okay, maybe not dog walk, but I think it would be quite one-sided, like a stoppage. It better be if fights him. It's definitely going to be a knockout, because what David Benavidez likes to do and what he did against Morrell is David Benavidez will sit down on a shot. He'll get close, kind of get up with you like in the clinch, and just start throwing combos, and that's exactly what Beterbiev is good at. And if he trades with Beterbiev like that, he can't do that. So he's going to have to abandon his whole fighting style. If Beterbiev wins against Bivol, which he might, I hope Bivol wins again. That way we can see a third fight between them, which is that fight's coming up soon, by the way, and I'll definitely be covering that. But let's get to the Morrell and Benavidez fight. We'll talk about the future in a little bit. So yeah, round one, it started out really, really good. It was like first 10 seconds they just started throwing punches already. Usually boxing fights, especially with like super talented fighters, when it's a big super fight like this, the first round or whatever, they'll try to feel each other out and see what's going on, but they went right for it. And immediately David Morrell was on the back foot. He was on his back foot against the ropes pretty much the entire fight. He had a couple times where he put Benavidez up on the ropes and he landed some good shots, but most of the time Morrell was pushed up on his back foot and David Benavidez had the pressure, which is what he wanted. Benavidez played his whole game the entire fight. He did exactly what he wanted to, and that's why he won, because he got to play his game. Morrell was on his back foot, which he didn't look horrible on his back foot, I gotta say. He, for being on his back foot all 12 rounds, he looked really good. He was the underdog, so it wasn't like too much of a surprise. I think everybody thought Benavidez was going to win anyway, but he put up a good fight. He did drop Morrell, David Benavidez, in the 11th round. It was like barely a knockdown, but he did knock him down. I think Morrell could have won this fight if he let his hands go and he sat down on his shots a little bit earlier in the fight. He didn't start doing it until about the 10th, 11th, and then the 12th, but mainly the 11th, because that's when he dropped him. He sat down on shots. I think he was just too afraid of getting dropped or something. I mean, he was sitting there and he was taking Benavidez' shots. He's got a good chin. Like, he was taking them all, even though he's being blocked, but he was taking all the shots, but there's a little bit there where he just wasn't answering and he wasn't doing anything. And when he'd throw his punches, he'd just go and he'd be moving with them, which they would hit, but he needed to sit down on his shots more and like just get some power behind him. And when he did, you could tell they hurt Benavidez. And I think it was the second or third round, he was pushed up in the corners, and it was right at the end of the round, and he hit Benavidez, and Benavidez got stunned for a quick second. And then Benavidez answered back, and he was trading. Like, that's the thing. The fight was like they were just going at it the entire fight, because most of the times people will shell up and try to get out of there, but Benavidez was just firing back at him after he got stunned like that. So it was a great fight, super entertaining. I honestly kind of would have liked to see Morrell win, but just because he's the underdog. But yeah, Benavidez, it was a great fight for him. His combinations, man. I mean, everybody knows he likes his combos, but it was really, really good combos. He was working in there to the body. He was going to the body so many times, and you could tell it was starting to affect Morrell, because he gassed out a little bit in the later rounds, as well as Benavidez. Yeah, I mean, his combinations, that was the thing. Benavidez got him up against the ropes. He sat down on his shots. Morrell was still blocking, but he was still landing there, getting through. He'd just rip to the body, go up top, uppercuts. He was doing a lot of uppercuts in the clinch too, uppercut, and then like a left hook to the body. They were landing, and it was working. Whatever Benavidez was doing was working, and it won him the fight. But honestly, after seeing that performance from Benavidez, all right, so I apologize if the video is going to be a little bit I just found out my SD card was full and like half my video got cut, so I apologize if I repeat some things or leave some things. I'm gonna try to do my best and pick up from where I left off. Anyway, I was talking about Canelo and Benavidez. After seeing that performance from Benavidez, I don't think. I think Canelo probably finishes him. I don't think he wins that. I think that Canelo probably takes him out pretty convincingly, if not, like I said, finishes him. But I think just, not that Benavidez had a bad performance at all, but I just think, like, just seeing it yesterday, and Morrell's a great fighter, but he only has half the fights Benavidez did, and I think Canelo's so much more experience. I think Canelo would win it, like I said, pretty easily. And I do think, like before, and I was one of the people that was saying Canelo's ducking David Benavidez, but now I see that like Canelo's right, and I think it would be a pretty easy fight for him. So now I'm curious to see what happens with Morrell. Like, I don't know what's next with Morrell. He'll probably have a tune-up fight or two. That's usually what happens after a big fight. I think he'll probably have a tune-up fight, and then we'll see what happens from there. But we also had the Pitbull Cruz fight on this card. He won that, and Carmel Moten won that as well, and he's like 7-0 now. He's still in the prelims because he's so young and he's still fighting in what you call cab drivers, which is one of the things I'd like to see different. And I get that's how boxing goes, is you build up your prospect, especially because Floyd's his promotion company. You build up this prospect so much like what Golden Boy did with Ryan Garcia with, what we call cab drivers with boxing, which is a whole bunch of nobodies, but that's what happens, and that's what, like, you fight these people that don't have good records, but it makes you look good because you're undefeated, and it's a padded record. Like, that's what happened with Ryan Garcia. He was 24-0 until he fought Tank Davis, and he only had one or two really hard fights because Golden Boy built him up. So when you are ready for that big fight, they can, you're their promotion, and you can make the big fight. And I think Carmel's ready for that. I mean, he's got a big following. I think he has like 800K on Instagram or something like that. So I think he could honestly get a decent draw. But I could be wrong, especially because, too, Floyd could promote him. But like I said, I think he's only 18 or 19, so they're probably not ready for that. And I get it. He doesn't want to take that big of a risk in his career already, to lose that undefeated record until like he needs that actual big super fight. But regardless, let's get back to the Morrell and Benavidez. What's next for Benavidez? Like I said, I think it's the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev, and there's a great performance from Benavidez, but there's the levels to it, and I think whoever he fights, he's gonna lose to, if not get knocked out. If he's gonna want Bivol to win, and I want Bivol to win because I want to see the trilogy of Beterbiev and Bivol, but he needs Bivol to win because he's not quite as powerful. But you saw what Bivol did to Canelo. Like, at least Canelo made it through the fight. But if he goes against Beterbiev, he's going to be done because he won't be able to fight his fight, which is pressure, get him on the back foot, get him on the ropes, which worked great against Morrell yesterday. But Morrell is not Arthur Beterbiev. Beterbiev is the same style as Benavidez. He's a big guy. He stands in front of you. He trades. He works the body, and he does combos, and he knocks you out. I mean, he's the only person he has to knock out was Bivol, and he's one of the greatest light heavyweights. So he's undisputed champ for a reason. And Beterbiev, I think he would just take him out early. Like, Benavidez wouldn't be able to fight his fight. He'd have to stay in the back ropes. He'd be doing what Morrell was doing yesterday. And because, I mean, Beterbiev is just going to stay in the middle of the ring, and you're not going to be able to trade with Beterbiev. Like, Benavidez has good combos and stuff, but he didn't even drop Morrell yesterday. I don't even think he wobbled him. And Beterbiev has a chin, so that's not going to happen. Beterbiev would knock him down, so he needs to be able to win. I'd like to see the rematch, honestly, but like I said, it's probably going to be the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev, but hopefully we get a rematch. But yeah, that's about it for me today, guys. I didn't do a video on the UFC because I didn't watch a whole bunch of the card except the Venom Page, and I honestly kind of zoned out for the Adesanya fight. That was really sad anyway to see him get knocked out again. But yeah, we got a lot of good fights coming up. I'm super excited for the Bivol and Better Biev. That card is stacked. We got Shakur and Floyd. We got Daniel Dubois, Joe Parker. I think that's who he's fighting. Then we have um, Big Bang Zhang, and a couple others. I can't name them off the top of my head, but it's gonna be a really good fight. So I'm really excited for that Shakur fight. But yeah, that's about it for me today, guys. I'll be back soon, and yeah, like I said, sorry for the second half of the video if it was a little bit not as flowy, I guess, because I had to mess around with the camera and stuff like that, a break in between because my SD card was full. So anyway, thanks for watching, and subscribe, give me some feedback on what I can improve. See you guys in the next one.